Alrighty, everyone, good morning. Happy Pride! Oh no, come on, the first time in City of Waterbury history, Happy Pride! That's more like it, that's more like it. Good morning, everyone. My name is Rafael Feliciano Roman. I am a proud, queer, two-spirited, demisexual man here in the City of Waterbury. Come on, Honoree, you gotta sit in the front, Denise. Stop trying to hide. This is your day, honey. This is your day, okay? Proud, demisexual, queer, Boricua man, born and raised here in the City of Waterbury. I went to Barnard, Westside, and Kennedy. And like most queer people from my generation and my age, I didn't feel safe in the city, so I left. I left for about 12 years, and then like most of us, the pandemic hit and I came home. I came home because Waterbury's in my blood, and there's the myth that if you drink from the brass horse, you're here for life. And I drank many a times as a kid, so here I am again, right? Give it up to Waterbury and the brass horse. When I came back home, I realized that in my community, we still needed some culture and safe spaces for the LGBTQ, for the Latine, for the Afro-Caribbean cultures and diaspora. So me and 9 amazing women of color got together and we formed the Afro-Caribbean Cultural Center. I have a couple board members who are here, or were here, Ronee Mason Craig, Lindsay Santiago in the back with my nephew and niece. And amazing women started this organization. Without women of color, we would not be here. So give it up to the amazing women of color in the world. I'd like to begin this ceremony by thanking the fact that our cultural center, along with 26 other organizations, groups, and people, came together to form the Greater Waterbury LGBTQI Coalition, a coalition of organizations, people, like-minded individuals, activists, who all said, hey, we need to come together to say, especially nowadays with what's going on in the world, over 400 pieces of legislation trying to ban our existence, to banning books in schools that say that there can be 2 mommies and 2 daddies, to the fact that in Waterbury, today, on Waterbury Talks and other platforms, people were calling us Satanists and groomers. Not happening 10, 20 years ago, but today. So we need to get out there. We need to be prevalent and vigilant. And I would be remiss if I didn't thank the coalition partners, the Afro-Caribbean Cultural Center, Apex Health, Bridge to Success, Connecticut Pride, Equality Connecticut, Hopeville Church, New Opportunities Incorporated, P-Flag of Waterbury, Race, Radical Advocates for Cross-Cultural Education, Silas Bronson Library, The Turf, Twist Nightlife Entertainment, the Waterbury Health Department, the Waterbury Youth Services, Wheeler Clinic, and the Greater Waterbury YMCA. Also, individually, I would like to thank these following activists: Nixie Jimenez, Michaela Jimenez, Jack Abug, or Jack Teron, Alana Farazi, and Christina Marie. Thank you, and give it up for all these amazing partners and coalition partners. Today is an historic day here in the Brass City. It fills me with so much pride that as a queer boy, I can now come to a city and the inner child in me can see the fact that there is, for the first time in the city's 337-year anniversary of its founding and 170 years as an officially incorporated city, that there is an LGBTQI plus flag raised, and that we have our first ever LGBTQI mayor of the day. I'd like to acknowledge the fact that while we're sitting here today, in the spirit of healing, and as we gather as one, we need to acknowledge that the City of Waterbury does sit on the ancestral homelands of the Pugatuck, the Tunxis, the Quinnipiac, and the Pagusset people and their descendants. Let's talk about the history of Pride for a minute. The gay rights movement, even before Stonewall, a lot of people attribute Stonewall in '69 as the movement, but there was actually a U.S. gay rights organization, the Society for Human Rights, founded in 1924 by Henry Gerber, a German immigrant who went to New York and founded this organization, and police raids in 1925 forced him to disband. And there was a little-known group called the Daughters of the Blitless, which was the first lesbian rights organization to form in San Francisco in 1955. Yes. And 3 years before the Stonewall riots, the members of the Mattachine Society, an organization dedicated to gay rights, they staged sit-ins and openly declared their sexuality at taverns and bars, and they were beaten and kicked out brutally. Yes. Pride is still important today. As I stated before, with book bannings and 400 pieces of anti-LGBTQIA legislation throughout the nation, we need to make sure we move forward. And when everyone asks me a lot of the times, hey, what's up with all the letters? What's up with all the representation? Why do we keep needing to be inclusive? It's because within our own beautiful rainbow, we have many shades and colors and creeds and coalitions. And so with that, we have the first ever Greater Waterbury LGBT. Look at them. Look at our beautiful, beautiful flag bearers. Give it up. We have our first ever in the city's history. So I'm just going to list some of them off for you. We have the lesbian flag, the queer gender flag, the bisexual flag, agender, demisexual, ace, trans with the amazing Lynn from P-Flag, pansexual, the Black Lives Matters Progress Pride flag, and the fabulous Mucha Mucha from the House of Placer drag queen flag. Now, if you notice today, because of the weather, right, Mother Nature was really just wanting us to get some much needed rain. We did already raise the flag. But what we're going to do today is two things. One is we're going to acknowledge that even though and despite all of our adversities, I am still blessed and excited to live in the greatest country that allows me the freedom to get up here, challenge thoughts and notions, speak freely, and be a proud American. So we're going to ask you all to rise as we play our gay fairy godmother and icon, Whitney Houston's 1994 rendition of our national anthem. Please rise and face the flag. Give it up for Whitney Houston. Thank you all so much. Have a seat. The room has even gotten more full since I turned around. I love that for us. There's more space over here. Come on in. This is going to be like drag gospel on Sunday. Y'all all invited. I'll talk about the calendar later. Awesome. Again, I do want to acknowledge we do have amazing... Oh, sorry. That was going to be the next song. Don't worry. It's okay. It's all right. Little preview. Come on in, beautiful. We have seats down here in the front. VIP. Come on, family. So thank you all again so much. I do want to recognize we have some elected officials. We have Mike DeVancarlio right here, state representative and alderman for the city of Waterbury. Give it up for him. And a Waterbury police officer. Alderwoman Zimmerman here towards the back. Give it up for her, please. Thank you so much. We have again on the dais with us, we have Paul Puderewski, City of Waterbury Alderman President here with us today. He's going to speak in a little bit. State Representative Ronald Napoli, 73rd District. the only lieutenant governor to appear on RuPaul's Drag Race, Lieutenant Governor Susan Bysiewicz. We have the amazing Ashley from Senator Joan Hartley's office. We're going to be joined also in a little bit by Congresswoman Johanna Hayes is coming in the house today, amen. And we have, of course, the woman of honor, our LGBT mayor of the day. You'll hear from her later, Denise Martinez. And again, if I miss any other elected and appointed officials, come see me. I'll be standing at the side. And again, we will get into that in a little bit. So again, we are a people who are prideful. We are a people who love this country. And we are a people of faith. We are a people of deep beliefs and meanings to the God or goddesses or gods of your higher understanding. We are not heathens, we are home people. We are loving, we are caring, we are your kindred, we are your family. And with that, we begin today with an invocation from Pastor Heather Deschamps of Hopeville Church. Hopeville is an open and affirming congregation right here in the city of Waterbury. This is a UCC official designation for churches who formally declare openness to affirmations of all people without respect to sexual orientation, gender identity, gender expression. You are all welcome at Hopeville Church. Give it up for our amazing Pastor Heather.
Good morning. I am so excited to be here today as we kick off what will be a wonderful week of Pride events in this great city full of diversity. As we look around, we can appreciate the beauty of creation is represented on the face of our siblings, and we know that in this diversity is where we find our greatest hope and our greatest strength. And beyond what we can see exists an invisible diversity among us as well, as we who gather here are representatives of the spectrum of sexualities and gender identities. We also run the gamut of faiths and beliefs. We stand together as those who worship one God, those who worship many gods and goddesses, those who do not find divinity in a creating being, but somewhere else, like nature or in humanity. Those who do not have a source of divine in their lives, and those who simply don't know. Yet we are drawn together here by one of the single most uniting forces in the universe, love. It is from this loving place that I offer two blessings for all of us. The first is the Rainbow Blessing by Cricket Hill. May the drag stage rise to meet you. May the world rise to accept and embrace you. May the rainbow of love enfold you. May your fluidity never be hindered. May your pronouns always be supported and your dead name forgotten. May those you invite into your life remain loyal. May your chosen family lift you up and catch you when you need it, and may you be able to catch those around you when they need it. May you remember sensitivity is not weakness, but instead a great strength welling up inside you, and until we meet again, may you remember that you are loved and you are divine. And next, our beautiful flag is flying. The wind has caught it. It's blowing in the wind. And so we offer this dedication by Alex Swift. Let this banner be a symbol of hope, a blanket of protection for those who need it, and a cape of power for those who must be empowered. Let this flag be a standard of our conviction to embody all these things and to be the change we will upon the world. Let the will we weave to empower and protect be woven into this flag as we weave it into the world. With our blessing, let all love be sacred. Let all unions be safeguarded and all people be free. Amen. Ashe. Blessed be. Happy Pride.
Her baby's crying. Go get her, Grandma. Give it up for Grandma Denise. Go get the baby. If that ain't love, I don't know what is. Look at that man for the day. Oh, look at that. Give a round of applause for her grandbaby. Come on. Come on. Pastor Heather, thank you so much for that. Ashe, blessings on you. Welcome, welcome. Another the more you know moment, because everyone who knows me as Rafael, I'm always about teaching history and legacy because history is important. If not, we are doomed to repeat it as a people and as a movement, right? So let's discuss the importance of local elections, and I'm going to get into some of those who will be speaking today. Did you know that before Harvey Milk, may he rest in peace, ran and won in 1978, there were two people who ran for office before him? A lot of people might not know that. The first openly LGBTQI person in the United States to run for office was a short Mexican drag queen from San Diego. Jose Julio Sarria, also known as the Madre Mer, the absolute Empress One of San Francisco and the Widow Norton, was a political activist from California who in 1961 became the first openly LGBTQI candidate for public office in the United States. He is also remembered as the drag queen founder of the Black Cat Bar and the founder of the Imperial Court System. It was a Latina Mexican LGBT person who paved the way for all of us queer activists and politicians in this world. And the second person, because again, we talk about women and the importance of women and feminine identities in our movement. Many people do not know about Kathy Kozakenshko. Have anybody heard about her? Raise your hand. I love you too. Okay, up here. Amen to them. Round of applause for them too for doing their queer history this month. Hallelujah. Kathy Kozakenshko is an American politician who was the first openly LGBTQI candidate to run and then successfully win for political office in the United States. Kozakenshko ran on the ticket for the Human Rights Party, which had already succeeded in winning in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and won their seat in 1972. So it's again a dope, amazing female LGBTQI person who kicked down the door for Harvey Milk and all of us today. We welcome and uphold all candidates who are running for mayor. Again, the city council president is running Paul Prunaruski. We have Don Mariano, the Republican nominee, who's seeking the nomination, running as well. I just saw Alderman, he's not running for mayor, please do not conflate this, but I just saw Alderman George Nugent, who's a great ally, and his amazing child. Look at that. Give him a round of applause here, supporting another alderperson here. And again, he is not running for mayor. Who? Hunter? Hunter? Alderman Hunter, where are you? Raise your hand. I didn't see you back there. I'm so sorry. You're behind the camera, man. Give it up for Alderman Hunter, please. Thank you. Thank you, Kelly. No, I appreciate that. We welcome and uphold all candidates running for re-election this year. And again, this would not be an LGBTQI thing if we didn't call for action. We would ask that the mayoral candidates and older people please consider this proposal, that the City of Waterbury form an LGBTQI commission, similar to the Human Rights Commission, that addresses and tackles the specific needs of the LGBTQI community in Waterbury, like LGBTQI homelessness, and those who are young at heart, who are seniors, who also face homelessness, and those like myself, as an openly HIV/AIDS man in this world. And I want to thank the Waterbury Board of Health and the Health Department for all their amazing work. Give it up for them, please. We got the director, his staff, Sam Bowens, who for years was a Waterbury LGBTQ icon, and the Puerto Rican Day Parade and Festival has named him the LGBTQI ambassador for 2023 for our city. So with all that said, I'm now going to invite these amazing dignitaries to start honoring this amazing woman who's here today, Denise Martinez. First to speak on behalf of the City of Waterbury, both for the office of the mayor and the older folks and all of the city elected and appointed officials in the City of Waterbury, please welcome friend of ours, Board of Aldermen President Paul Prunaruski Jr.
Good morning. It's great to be here this morning at the celebration. And I do want to also acknowledge Alderwoman Belinda Weaver, who's back down there in the corner. She gets.
Sorry, Alderwoman, sorry.
She's always hiding in the back, so she only makes her voice known when she has something very important to say, which is very often. So thank you for being here. I'd like to welcome all of you to the first LGBTQIA plus flag raising, and the Pride Mayor for the day. Waterbury, I always say at these functions, is a great melting pot, and it's great to now include more people into that melting pot and to have you all here today. So thank you all for coming out. So I'd also like to acknowledge that we have here with us today, our police department is here, as they are, and our fire department is here. So please give a round of applause. I think when it comes to police and fire, we definitely have the best in the state of Connecticut, and I think on all of the East Coast. They do a great job for us day in and day out. Let's also give a round of applause for the Honorable Pride Mayor for the day, Denise Martinez, who's here with us today. We're thrilled to have the opportunity to congratulate and thank Denise and the rest of her family on this exciting occasion. Denise is an outspoken supporter of the Pride community, and we join together today to celebrate Pride Month and the first Pride Mayor for the day in Waterbury. And today marks a day in Waterbury's history. We come here to raise awareness and to educate our residents about the challenges that affect the LGBTQIA+ community. And that's why the greater Waterbury area today recognizes Denise Martinez as a champion and an advocate for all of those in need. So on behalf of the city of Waterbury, congratulations again on being honored as the Pride Mayor for the day. I do have a lot of firsts today, that's for sure. I do have a proclamation from the city that I'd like to read to you on behalf of the city. Whereas Denise Martinez's significant contribution on behalf of the LGBTQIA+ community proudly exemplifies diversity and inclusion, and whereas in the greater Waterbury area, Denise Martinez is a champion, a tenacious advocate, and a supporter of those in need and of people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. And whereas Denise attended Barnard Elementary, Westside Middle School, and John F. Kennedy High School, and whereas Denise's professional career, volunteer work, and philanthropic enthusiasm are all deeply rooted within the city of Waterbury, as a community engagement specialist for New Opportunities Incorporated, she sees her work as more than just a job, her work is her life's passion. And whereas for nearly 10 years, Denise has worked at Dungarvan, a company that offers community-based support for clients with a variety of needs, Denise is passionate about helping people with intellectual and developmental impairments. And whereas Denise devotes much of her free time to charitable causes outside of her job, she is a disaster relief volunteer for the American Red Cross and has served on the island of Puerto Rico following Hurricane Maria in 2017 and in Florida following Hurricane Ian in 2022. And whereas Denise is also a founding member of the Greater Waterbury Puerto Rican Day Parade and Festival Committee, a board member of the Jack Paul Nugent Foundation, and one of the committee's founding members of the Greater Waterbury LGBTQIA+ Pride. Now therefore, I, Neil M. O'Leary, Mayor of the City of Waterbury, do hereby proclaim June 27, 2023, a special day of recognition for Denise Martinez as we name her Waterbury's honorary LGBTQIA+ Mayor for the day. Congratulations, signed Neil M. O'Leary, Mayor of the City of Waterbury.
That's why they say, get you a gay bestie. We blot and dot, okay? We blot and dot. All right, you're gonna hear from a couple more people. Denise will be speaking soon. And again, I didn't have to read her bio because Paul did it for me, so he saved us some time. So give it up for Paul for saving us a good 5 minutes. I love that. I do want to acknowledge, because I did mention her earlier, and you know, she's always fabulous, fantabulous. She's gonna speak in a minute. But as I said earlier, the queen has arrived. The Johanna Hayes, my queen. I love you. Happy bride. Our U.S. Congresswoman is in the house. All right, next up, we are going to have an amazing woman who, at her time in Secretary of State, I remember as a kid, I voted for her in the youth election. She has been a fierce advocate for the LGBTQI community when she was Secretary of State. And now as our Lieutenant Governor, like I said, y'all, first Lieutenant Governor on RuPaul's Drag Race. So that's a first too, right there, okay? Give it up for our amazing, the support of Lieutenant Governor Susan Bicelis is in the house.
Thank you so much. What an honor to be here with you. Madam Mayor Denise Martinez, you are a role model for what female leadership looks like. Congratulations. Let's give her another round of applause. So you're probably wondering, what was the Lieutenant Governor doing on RuPaul's Drag Race? Well, I am happy to tell you that I was invited on to the show because of Connecticut's 4 drag finalists that made it all the way to the top. And when I got invited, I immediately thought, well, I am going to have Connecticut's 4 LGBTQ plus caucus members from our legislature, right? Yeah. Jeff Curry, Marcus Brown, Dominique Johnson, and Raheb Ali Brennan on with me. Yeah. And we made a short video, and we ended with love wins, because it was a message to lawmakers all across this country who have introduced anti-LGBTQ plus legislation, and we wanted everyone to know that love wins ultimately, and we all win if we work together to fight discrimination. So I'll just end with this. We sent this video, it was on the show. I didn't even know when it was gonna air, but all of a sudden, my children started texting me saying, "Mom, were you really on RuPaul's Drag Race? How cool is that?" My kids actually thought I was cool for a very brief moment. So I just want to speak just for a little bit about why today, this historic day, matters for people in Waterbury and for the people of Connecticut. Some people may say, well, a flag is just a symbol. It is a powerful symbol that says we see you, we love you, we respect you, and we will stand up and fight for you, and that is why that flag matters today. So, right after I took office in 2019, I wanted to fly an LGBTQ flag over our beautiful state capitol in Hartford. And I'll never forget calling the person at legislative management who's in charge of which flags go over the state capitol. And so I asked if I could please fly the pride flag over the state capitol. And there was this long pause after I asked the question. And the person said, you know, we only fly country flags. And so I said, well, I am absolutely sure there are gay people in every country across the planet. And so, ladies and gentlemen, since 2019, we have been flying that flag every year on June 1st. And for the first time this year, on March 31st, we made sure the trans flag was flown for the very first time. So why is this important? Well, it's important because there are places in this state that are moving backward. So when you and I were in Wethersfield, where a year ago, the council flew the pride flag over the Wethersfield Town Hall, but for some bizarre reason, this year, the council decided that they didn't want to fly the flag. Same thing has happened in Darien. Last year, the flag flew, and those extremist forces have been at work, and they made the decision this year not to fly the flag. And that we know in places like Newtown, there are book bans because, oh my goodness, there are LGBTQ characters featured in books. So that is why what we're doing here today matters, because the values of inclusiveness and of diversity and love are embodied in that flag. And I want you to know that voting matters, right? The people you select to be on the Board of Education, on the Board of Aldermen, to be mayor matter because they make important decisions that affect our youth. And I'll just finish on this because I do want you to know that in the state of Connecticut, the governor and I have your back. We make sure that there is coverage for gender-affirming care in Connecticut. That's important to people's health and well-being, and that that our laws are very clear, that you cannot discriminate when it comes to education or employment or housing to discriminate on the basis of someone's orientation. We have your back, and that is why Connecticut is one of the best places in the country for the LGBT community to visit. We're very proud of that travel designation, and we're proud to be a very inclusive and welcoming state. We always have to be on our guard because our rights are always at stake. So thank you to Waterbury for showing your values and your priorities, and it's just a great honor to represent you every day in Hartford. Thank you so much.
I don't know, the lieutenant governor was testifying. Hallelujah. I want to go to her church on Sunday. Speaking of testifying, there's no one, I think, in this room, right, who's recently experienced exactly what the lieutenant governor is talking about. Why voting matters. Why having the right representatives representing you in halls of authority and power matter. The Queen, as I call her, because I went to Kennedy High School with her. She was an English teacher when I went there, okay? The Queen, Congresswoman Hayes, won her election by just close to 1,000 votes. And what I'm telling y'all is we have to make sure we have the right people in Washington represent us. When we are so close and the House flipped, and we have seen that there's trying to be attempts to roll back my rights as an LGBTQ person, I want the Queen, Miss Hayes, there fighting for me, okay? Because this woman needs no introduction, because she is a tireless advocate for the 5th Congressional District and all of its LGBTQI constituents. She voted for the U.S. Equality Act, a historic piece of civil rights legislation that would extend federal civil rights laws to LGBTQI Americans. She, again, in the last Congress, because definitely not in this Congress, she definitely co-sponsored H.R. 2747, the Tyler Clementi High School Education Anti-Harassment Act, that would require colleges and universities throughout the U.S. to have policies in place to prohibit harassment of LGBTQI students. The House Concurrent Resolution 34, the National Day of Silence Resolution, which recognizes Friday, April 12th as National Day of Silence, in which students throughout this United States, because LGBTQI students are still at the highest risk for suicide, still at the highest risk for homelessness, still at the highest risk for conversion therapy throughout this country. This fighter is fighting for us in Washington. And last but not least, House Resolution 388, the International Day Against Homophobia, Transphobia, Biphobia resolution that would recognize May 17th as an international holiday, marking the widespread fight against discrimination against the LGBTQI community. Again, I call her my queen because I love her. She's fabulous. Everybody's here. She was just doing salsa at the Cultural Center a couple weeks ago. But you know that this woman's here fighting for our rights. Give it up for our Congresswoman Johanna Hayes. Always, 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 always.
Good morning, everyone. I'll be quick because today is definitely about fabulous mayor for the day, Denise. But I do want to share a short story with you. I, as you know, was a teacher in Waterbury Public Schools, have grown up in this area my whole life, and literally never thought that in 2023 We'd be fighting for the rights of the LGBTQI+ community. My first year in Congress, something happened here in the state of Connecticut. You all probably remember. In my district, there was 2 young women, trans women, who were athletes in high school, and the Secretary of Education said she was going to withdraw money from the state of Connecticut because these girls were allowed to play. A lawsuit was filed, and it right now is playing out in the Second Circuit Court. And I remember thinking, okay, how do I respond to this? Because people were treading very lightly in this space. No one wanted to speak out publicly. No one wanted to say anything. And I remember sitting in my office, and I was making a list of all of the reasons why I needed to speak up. But I also made a list of all the cons, or I thought I would make a list of the cons. And before I could write anything on this piece of paper, I put my pen down. I said, what are you doing? These are children. These are somebody's children. And you have a position of authority and responsibility, and you have to speak up for these children. And I was the very first person in the state to speak out publicly, to speak out against the Secretary of Education, to go on record and say, you will not do this on my watch. I will not let you target and attack children. I will not let these adults publicly harass children. Not on my watch. And very quickly after that, when you talk about leadership in Connecticut, our Attorney General, William Tong, came right after, and he filed a lawsuit to say, you will not do this in Connecticut. And that is what we all need to remember. It is just that basic. It is just that basic. When you allow people to attack any group of people, you are opening the door to discrimination against everybody. One of the very first pieces of legislation that I led and successfully passed through my committee was eliminating the Conscience of Religious Freedom Division in the Health and Human Services. And that is the department that was saying that you could use your religion as a basis for discriminating against providing service for someone. You cannot bake them a cake for their wedding. You cannot allow them to use your venue. What I need to say to you all is that my faith is the reason why I push and advocate so hard for people in the LGBTQI+ community. Religion should never be used as a sword in this conversation. It should be used as a shield to protect people who are being attacked. And anyone who doesn't understand that does not deserve to hold public office. So I stand here today in full solidarity and support, because when you come for the least of us, when you attack people who are already marginalized, when you attack young people who experience suicide and are targeted at higher rates than any other community, when the adults in the room, when the legislators in our halls, when the people who have been chosen to lead in all parts of our community are not standing up and using their agency and their advocacy and their voices to make our communities and these spaces safe for people, it is just that basic. It is just that basic. I can tell you something that this city has taught me, something that the kids in Kennedy High School have taught me. It doesn't matter. You show up as you are, and we figure the rest out later. So today, I stand here with you to celebrate the first ever Pride flag raising here in the city of Waterbury. I could not be more proud of this community, because we are a community of neighborhoods, a community of people, a community of organizations, a community of groups, a community that comes together and teaches each other about our neighbors, teaches each other about who we are. And a person who does that better than anyone is Denise. She advocates and is a voice for everyone. So it is my honor and privilege today to stand here and be a voice for her and the entire LGBTQI+ community. And the other thing that I would say about Denise that I truly appreciate is she used her voice also to educate people. If you get it wrong, she doesn't cancel you. She pulls you aside and corrects you, tells you the right way to say it or a better way to say it. She helps you understand and appreciate things through a perspective that you may not even have considered or never had to think about. And for that, Denise, I thank you. I thank you, because it starts with education. It starts with forcing people to walk in someone else's shoes, and that's what you do so beautifully. So I stand here today with this incredible, colorful, joyful crowd of people to celebrate you as our Waterbury Mayor for the day.
We got two more, and then Denise is coming up. We're coming close to the end, trust me, and then there'll be Pride Fest and fun. Again, we are bringing up, it's really cool for me, it's like a full circle moment, because again, as a young queer boy working in this city and understanding why government and politics work, at the ripe old age of 14, 15, I went to go canvass and door knock and work on a campaign for mayor for then Ron Napoli Sr., the father. We were up on Town Plot in Highland Ave, me, Ron Jr., little computer tower. You talk about how far technology's come. I'd have to take the piece of paper and manually check into the computer every voter for the last 5, 10 years. And I remember being who I was on that campaign. And it was Ron Napoli Jr. back then, just teacher, not state rep, not alderman, not man with the plan guy that we love and know today, who accepted me and thanked me, him, his father, his mother, his family. And so for that, I'm eternally grateful. With my mentor, Hector Riojano, with a bunch of us in the Latino community, we thank this man for all the work that he's done. And I'm so happy that I get to introduce my brother from another mother, Ron Napoli State Rep, and from the State Senator's office, Ashley. Please, Joan Hartley, come on up.
So good morning. It's an honor for Ashley and I to stand here with you all today and see Waterbury make history. In the State House, we have made some great progress on the Pride issue led by our colleague, Jeff Curry. However, there is no mission accomplished banner behind us. There's a lot more work to do. And with that, we are committed to making sure that people treat everyone in this community with fairness and respect and integrity and in love. So we're honored to be here with you today and honor our mayor for a day, Denise. And we have a citation from the General Assembly that I'd like to read. The State of Connecticut General Assembly official citation introduced by State Representative Geraldo Reyes, Rep. DG Vancarlo, Rep. Pizzuto, Rep. Butler, Rep. Napoli, Senator Hartley. Be it hereby known to all that the Connecticut General Assembly hereby offers its sincerest congratulations to Denise Martinez. In recognition, your selection as honorary mayor for a day in the city of Waterbury, we express our sincerest gratitude for your service to our community, for your love for the city of Waterbury, and your dedication to keeping the LGBTQIA plus Pride community alive. The entire membership extends its very best wishes on this memorable occasion and hope for continued success in the future. Signed by President of the Senate, Martin Looney, the Speaker of the House, Matt Ritter, and the Secretary of State, Stephanie Thomas, with the official seal of the State of Connecticut. Congratulations, Madam Mayor.
Good morning, all. I just want to say a quick few words. Senator Hartley, obviously, unfortunately, could not be here, but she wanted someone from her office to come here and celebrate this monumentous Mayor of the Day celebration and just thank Denise Martinez for all of her humanitarian work. She is incredible, so thank you so much, Denise.
All right, the moment you have all been waiting for. Again, I have to take a sip of water. I feel like I'm at church. Hold on. All right. I think Tom Shute has somebody coming for his job. Okay. So, as the Congresswoman said, I personally, and I know George, and I know Lindsay, I know a bunch of us, Lisa from the Vice President for the Puerto Rican Day Parade and Festival, I know a bunch of us have gotten those 6 p.m. to 1 a.m. phone calls from Denise, where she calls us in on things we could do better, and that includes me, and that's what I love about Denise, ever since I've known her. I want to acknowledge Denise's family. Say hi, family. Wave, 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 wave. Her daughters, her grandkids. Oh, the daughter's like, not me. And her beautiful chocolate sexy thunder, Jennifer's over there, her partner. Give it up. She is officially the city's first lady who's LGBTQI, so give it up for her. But I want to acknowledge the family because I've seen the sacrifices and how long Denise is out in the community, how many hours she's away from you guys, how many times she comes frustrated and snaps at all of us in a good way. And you guys lift her up. And so I want to thank each and every one of you because when you're not around, she is singing your praises and lifting you guys up, sharing how much your love for her means. And so we thank you. And that is the point of Pride Month. When people try to come for us and call us abnormalities and differences and different and crazy and unfaithful and devil worshipers and groomers, I point to Denise Martinez and her family. And I challenge you to show me any more of an un-American and un-Waterbury family than the Martinez clan. So Paul did a great job of reading Denise's accolades. I'm just gonna bring her up. The fact that this is historic, you need me? Oh, you need tissue, okay. That's why I said bestie with the boo, back pocket tissue, here we go. This is historic for our city. The fact that we're proudly waving that flag, the fact that there's so many, and I'm so sorry, Alderwoman, I got your back. Earlier, I owe you a drink later, okay, girl? This weekend, come see me that I didn't acknowledge you, I got you. I want to acknowledge the fact that we have so many elected and appointed officials in this room, from all parties, from all creeds, from all races, so that we could say here in the city of Waterbury, we exist, love is love, trans lives matter, black lives matter, and the police lives matter. We thank every one of you for being here today, and to all of you teachers who are under attack, to all of you educators who are under attack, for all of you who are living in your truth, we see you, we love you, we thank you. The first time ever in the city of Waterbury history, ladies, gentlemen, kindred, other folk, please welcome the first ever Mayor of the Day, LGBTQI, Denise Martinez.
Hello, everyone. I am overwhelmed and happy to be here. I would say that I should have had a prepared speech, and I was working on that for a month, so it wasn't like I found out about this yesterday, but I could not figure out what to say in a small amount of time, because I can keep on talking and have you here for hours. But I would first like to thank the community for having me and nominating me as the first LGBTQI plus Mayor of the Day. I like to thank my family, the city of Waterbury, my God. I like to thank everyone for being here and showing your support. I feel like, it's sad to say that I'm the first, but I hope to see many to come after me. Thank you again. This is going to be short because I have to work on my public speaking skills. But thank you so much. Thank you for supporting us. We have a whole week planned, so hopefully I'll see your faces for the rest of the week. And thank you so much. Thank you.
I think Denise laid down the gauntlet to all the politicians. Short and sweet. Give it up for Denise, our first mayor. So really quick, have a quick seat, just a quick logistical note for you all. I just, again, would be remiss if I didn't thank the coalition members and every single person here, and thank my board of directors for the Afro-Caribbean Cultural Center. Again, Renee's here, Victoria just came in, Lindsay. They let the agency do a lot of work, but this whole week in Waterbury, we have a full week of Pride activities. So it starts today with this. Tomorrow there is an open mic night. We have a national, international trans poet, Bobby Sanchez, is coming into town. They are internationally known. They've done commercials for Metro, PCS, T-Mobile. They've been on RuPaul's as well. Amazing open mic night, 21 plus, BYOB at the Cultural Center. A nice little intimate night tomorrow from 6 to 9 p.m. Thursday is our Pride Festival in front of the Waterbury City Library, Silas Bronson Library from 12 to 6. It's free. We have drag performers. We have a band, Sister Funk, drag kings, drag queens, bilingual, Spanish and English. It's going to be open to everyone. 6 to 8 for all of you families with kids at Roller Magic. Any youth under the age of 18 gets to Roller Magic for free. Suggested donation for adults. And then 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. we'll be at the Turf down the street for our official Pride After Party fun. On Friday, June 30th, there is a Rainbow Kiki Vogue Ball. If anyone likes Vogue, or if they liked, Pose on FX, you go to the Courtyard by Marriott, a free Vogue night with awards and trophies. Saturday, Equality Connecticut is hosting their Pride Brunch. It is a dry and sober brunch at Lakewood Park Pavilion. And then we're closing it out with the amazing Heather and her family and her team at Hopeville Church with a drag gospel fest. We will show the world that the LGBT community does worship, we do praise, we do it with high heels and big hair and fabulous boas. And that's our week. Thank you guys so much, have fun. We cannot wait to see you guys next year. Oh, really quick, the mayor's office has provided coffee and cake and refreshments. Thank you guys so much.